Some time ago, one of the subscribers suggested I do a video on the networking of the Odroid cluster, from the viewpoint of someone that had never done any networking before. Many of you may have one or two computers at home and connect to the internet by using Wi-Fi. So today I'm going to cover some basics about setting up a simple home network. In any internet connection, there has to be something that allows your network to connect to the outside world. For home users, this is the router or router. The pronunciation varies on where you live. This is an old model, but will suffice to demonstrate what these devices are all about. As well as supporting wireless connection, it does have a built-in hub to allow up to 4 Ethernet connections, each of which can go to a separate computer, and one connection that goes from your house to your internet provider. Should you require more than 4 computers to physically connect to the router, you can run one of the connections to a network hub. Similar to the idea behind USB hubs, this network hub or switch will allow multiple computers to connect, and it will handle all the complicated communications for you, to give the illusion of each computer being permanently connected to a dedicated internet connection. While a USB hub lets each USB device communicate with the computer it is plugged into, a network hub also allows each computer to communicate with each of the other computers plugged into that hub, redirecting and forwarding data to the correct destination. This network hub has 8 ports, 1 port to connect to the router and 7 others to connect to computers. Modern network hubs are set up to allow any port to be the upstream connection to the router, and will work out which one this is automatically, so you can't plug the cables into the wrong place. You can buy hubs with 4, 8, 16 and even up to 48 port hubs. Naturally, the cost does rise with the larger number of ports. This device is an unmanaged hub, which is inexpensive and involves no configuring, being truly plug and play. A managed hub or switch is more usually found in commercial or larger networks, as they can be configured to do many things, like improve security and prioritize specific ports. As such, they do tend to cost quite a bit more than the unmanaged variety and are not normally needed in the home. An additional option to look out for are network switches that have power over Ethernet ports. These, as the name suggests, actually supply limited power over the Ethernet cable, allowing them to supply both power and communications to smaller, low-power devices. This is especially handy if the location your small computing device sits in has no nearby power connection. Ethernet cables are what are used to physically connect your computer to the router. These come in a number of standards referred to as categories. The higher the category, the faster the communication speed that can be achieved. Category 5E and Category 6 are the common types now in use. Category 5 can handle speeds up to 1 gigabit per second. Category 6 can handle 1 gigabyte per second easily and could be used up to around 10 gigabits per second. Category 6 cables tend to be thicker as they have heavier shielding, making them more bulky and harder to get around tight corners. Both Category 5E and Category 6 cables can be run up to about 100 meters when running at 1 gigabit per second, which is probably more than enough for the average home user. If you strive for a 10 gigabit per second network connection, your maximum cable length does drop to around 55 meters. So if you want to build an element of future-proofing into your system and are buying new cables anyway, then go for Category 6. So having set up your network hub and connecting it to your router, you may only need to get enough cables to connect each of your computers to a port on the network hub. A little planning is always a good thing for any project, and networking projects are no exception. Ensure you get a network hub with enough ports for all your needs, and you get sufficient cables of the correct length for the computers you intend to network. There are many ways to use your network. You can set up shared drives to allow each computer to read and write to files on each other's drives. You can also set up one computer with a database and allow all the other computers to connect and share information that way. You can communicate directly peer-to-peer by TCP or UDP connections, or send out general broadcast messages. I hope this video has let you know that networking your computers is not as difficult as it used to be. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching.